Last week we almost killed each other over the fact that the chase is not as bad as it may seem. Anyway, but he has composed another instant debate, and it's of the fact that Toyota is in NASCAR. And you think that is the most heinous sin of all time, that Toyota is in NASCAR?
Yes, because the main premise is NASCAR's an acronym, okay? And we all know what NASCAR stands for, those that are fans. The National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing. Therefore, an international competitor defies that rule. Apart from the fact that it does break the boundary of a national sport, Toyota has been known, when they first came to the sport, there was a lot of speculation as to if they were going to be able to supply an engine for their race team, for the race cars. And for the most part, up till still this year, they've been running a combination of Dodge, well, formerly Dodge, I apologize, of Ford and Chevy motors, and Dodge at the time. So they have this Frankenstein of a motor that has parts from each engine, or best specifics from each manufacturer's engine, put together to create this monster of an engine. And I'm not saying they're bad, because that's a moot point. We've already proven that they've got a good chance of winning a championship this year with my pick. But they bend the rules, and it's because of one word, Ian, that rhymes with shmoney.
Oh, let me guess, money.
Yeah, money's a big issue with Toyota's involvement in NASCAR. NASCAR said no to Toyota in the first place, and Toyota, oh gosh, it's going to be hard for me to pronounce that. Toyota said that they would be willing to offer compensation and sponsorship to allow them to race in the sport. It's the same reason why they only run Goodyear tires, and the same reason why they only use Sunoco fuels, because those respective companies paid to get into the sport. And it's the same.
Only traditionalists like you believe this nonsense. Only you traditionalists think that Toyota is bad for the sport of NASCAR. Who cares what NASCAR stands for? Guess what, Travis? The Toronto Blue Jays are in the American League. Sports do that.
Yeah, but it doesn't...
It's a marketing technique.
It doesn't make it correct, though.
Were we not just saying last week that we want people to watch NASCAR?
Yes.
This is how they're doing it.
And you'll notice that in 2007, the first season of Toyota, 2006, that last year, where it was all American companies, NASCAR's attendance at tracks and attendance viewership dropped substantially. I mean, just absurd percentages, because NASCAR has turned on its hardcore followers. They're trying too hard to please everybody. They're like a wishy-washy politician. They try and preach to the choir, and it sucks because Toyota shouldn't be in the sport. Now, do they know how to build a race car? Yes, albeit the engine.
So then why are they not in NASCAR? These are the best race cars. Really, I don't think it's the car that should be criticized. It should be the driver. Blame the player, not the equipment. Football players don't go out there and say, "Oh, my helmet was off."
Yes, but football players, no, you can't even draw that conclusion.
Why?
Because the stock car is stock car racing. It's just as much important to the sport as the driver is.
The driver is one of the the driver always comes before the car. Yes. I could jump into a car and lose a race, even if it was the fastest car on the planet.
Yes,
it's the driver.
It would look really bad on you for having the worst or the best car on the planet and then doing bad. But there was a time when NASCAR was at its peak where you rooted for Chevys or you rooted for Fords, Pontiacs, Oldsmobiles, Dodges, whatever it was. You rooted for that, and then you went, "All right, this is my driver."
But that's not what's bringing in money. That Chevy and Dodge and all the manufacturers are not bringing in money. You don't go to the racetrack and see fans wearing Chevy shirts. They got Greg Biffle shirts on and Jimmy Johnson shirts on.
Not anymore, you don't.
Exactly.
There was a time.
Not anymore.
And the times moved on because of Toyota's involvement.
No, you need to adapt or die, Travis.
No.
Toyota, does it belong?
No.
Maybe.
No.
Maybe.
No.
You can't say it doesn't belong.
It doesn't belong.
Well, I say Dodge doesn't belong. It's a good thing they got Dodge out of there.
Dodge left,
No one used. There was 2 cars that ran Dodge.
and they won a championship with them. So
No, well, Brad Kes. I don't like Brad Keselowski.
How does your theory work there?
I hate Brad Keselowski. I hate him. He thinks he's from the South, and he's not. He's from
Michigan.
From Michigan.
Correct.
That's it. You like Brad Keselowski?
No.
No. Okay.
I'm a Penske fan, but I don't like Keselowski. I mean, he's a good driver, but he's not my top driver.
He is not my favorite. But Toyota is fine. If you want to bring Dodge back, bring them back.
But it's not NASCAR's decision to get rid of Dodge or to bring Dodge back. That was SRT, just like you have SRT and then you have Chevy Power, then you have Ford, and then you have TRD, which is Toyota's racing team, okay? SRT said after Penske announced that they would be leaving Dodge, which made no sense whatsoever, SRT said, all right, well, who are the other teams that can pick us up? And nobody wanted to leave. So SRT withdrew their involvement in the sport. There's a good chance they're going to be back next year, so they'll only be missing a year. The reason why Penske left is beyond me. 0 engine failures that year. Okay, the engines were strong even after they announced about mid-season, maybe 3/4 of the way, that they wouldn't be returning to Dodge. They won a championship. Keselowski had 5 wins, I think, that year. It was David versus Goliath. He overtook Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson, Mr. 5-time, driver for the Hendrick Motorsports team, and he overtook them in a Dodge.
Keselowski's a bum.
And so you just, okay, so here's the equipment now being better than the driver. Now that driver is now riding on the back of SRT, and you put it in your own words, Keselowski's a bum, you don't like him. If you don't think he was that good, then the credit falls to Dodge and SRT. The point isn't Dodge in the first place. Dodge left because that was their own decision. Toyota should not be in the sport. It's a national sport with an international competitor. I don't agree with their involvement, and what makes it worse is that they paid to get in. And on top of all that, NASCAR allowed it, which is corruption. Well, I shouldn't say corruption. Corruption's a strong word.
There's no corruption in NASCAR.
Debatable. Maybe that'll be next week.
There are no corruptions in NASCAR.
What about Jimmy Johnson? What about Jimmy Johnson saying, Chad Knaus telling Jimmy Johnson that after he won the race, he had to make sure the rear end was disabled or destroyed so that they wouldn't be able to prove that his rear end was messed up. Or we have the Richmond race.
That's not corruption. That's cheating. Cheating and corruption are different things. They're different.
Okay, corruption is cheating with the involvement of money, which is exactly what Toyota is. They cheated their engine formula. They won way too many races to be some upstart manufacturer, and you can't tell me they were practicing, because in Japan, all racing or oval racing isn't a huge thing. They weren't practicing for this upcoming, so there's too much mystery to it and too much vagueness to it for them to just be this upstart manufacturer that comes in the sport. They really got to jump on it. Man, they're good. They're good, but they shouldn't be because they shouldn't be in the sport. That's my stance.
I wish I knew how to put the bleep in the editing system. I don't know how to do that, but if there was, I would go to town on you right now. Travis, that was a good argument. That was good.
That was good. I got what I wanted to say out there. It's been a long time since I've been able to compete with someone on the idea of Toyota's involvement. I've always been with people who agree with me, and those people I thank. So.
You know the drill. Put it in the comments. Save it for the comments. I always make comments available on the YouTube videos. That's what America is for. For bloody traditionalists like Travis to go at it with like-minded people like myself.
Yeah.
That's it for Instant Debate. We'll see you next time.